Council.
I call the regular meeting of Ascension Parish Council, Thursday, February 9th, to order, please. Before we do our invocation tonight, Councilman, I'd like to tell you we will pass on item number 8. Item 8. I'd like to, tonight, in your prayers, and when Mr. Boulevard does the invocation, I'd like to remember the Fife family from a few weeks ago with the accident that took a member of their family. Miss Hetty James, 101 years old, lifetime resident of Ascension Parish. I'd like to keep the James family in your prayers. Buck Banker, Albert Buck Banker, and quick recovery for Jared Berger Barringer and Mr. Charles Etienne, who was in a bad accident this morning. We hope for his quick recovery. Thank you. Our invocation will be led tonight by Mr. Boo LeBlanc. Mr. Boo.
Father, we come to you tonight looking for good news, and in our narrow scope of things, our narrow-mindedness, sometimes we find that we don't see good news. If we look at the 6 o'clock news, it's generally not good, but there is a silver lining, and so we need to look beyond that. But we find that we need to be reminded that true peace will come not from a victory of a nation over another nation, but of humankind over our own weaknesses and evils. And so we ask that you motivate this council tonight to, and anyone who acts for the people, who makes decisions that affects a lot of people, to look to the future with confidence and to do the right thing. And so we also remind ourselves that there are many good people out there who are seeking justice and working for justice by doing the right thing. And no one ever said that leadership is an easy thing, but it is a very rewarding thing if we just do the right thing. And at this time, I'd like to bow our heads in remembrance of all of the people that Bell spoke of earlier for just a moment of silent prayer. And this prayer we make through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Booth. For our pledge tonight, we have Miss Asia Moran, who is our new West Program Coordinator. I'd like to introduce her and welcome her aboard to our team.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Just a second. Just a second. I sent you a note. Apparently didn't get it. I want to also recognize the Green family in Limmerville. They lost one of their patriarchs.
I didn't get it, and
we just want to make sure all the families.
Mr. Isaac Green. We'd also like to remember Mr. Isaac Green from Dawsonville, who passed away this week. Yes, sir, Mr. President. And Miss Lori Walker. Her mother. Okay, thank you. Roll call, Ms. Cinnamon. All present. Don't have any chair additions tonight. Public comment period. Anyone wish to speak on any agenda item, please sign in. You'll be allowed 3 minutes to talk on that agenda item. I don't have any presentations. Parish President report, please. Okay, Parish President does not have anything. I'll go to item 7, consent agenda. I'll need a motion, please.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Going to our general business, I said earlier, item 8 we will pass. Item 9, approval of the date change for the February 17th regular council meeting due to the annual Police Jury Association Conference. Councilman, I'm asking to move the next meeting up 2 days to Tuesday, February the 15th. I need a motion, please. Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any objection? Motion carries. Item 10, a resolution to form a cultural district in the Parish of Ascension. Councilman Shakespeare and Ms. Beth James, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry, Paul.
Carla's gonna give us an update on this. This was brought to our attention, in a meeting about a week and a half ago. Some ongoing things that can, come about in a very rapid succession, which will bring very good cultural, things to Ascension Parish, and so we wanted to let everybody know about it.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm here tonight in Ms. James's absence to present a resolution to create a cultural district in Darrow. The Louisiana Cultural District Program was created by Act 298 of the 2007 regular session of the legislature. The primary goal of this initiative is to support community revitalization based on cultural activity through tax incentives. This program is implemented by the Lieutenant Governor's Office of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. This program allows the local government to designate a cultural district for the purpose of revitalizing a community by creating a hub of culinary activities, allows income and corporate franchise tax credits for eligible expenses for rehabilitation of owner-occupied, or revenue-generating historic structures in a cultural district, and it provides an exemption from sales and use tax for proceeds received from the sale of original, one-of-a-kind works of art from locations established within this district. We were asked recently by Mr. Kevin Kelly of Homeless House to assist him in his endeavor, which is to create a steamboat museum on the Mississippi River. Mr. Kelly has applied for a grant through the Department of Transportation, Scenic Byways, and has currently met all the criteria for that award. By creating this cultural district, we as a parish will ensure that this development has use of the tax incentives that the state provides to such projects. The project will create 80 permanent jobs and create a destination for tourists here in Ascension Parish. Because it is part of the Scenic Byway program, it will also provide signage on the interstate to allow everyone passing know that we in Ascension Parish now have a national tourist attraction. In your packets in front of you, we have a copy of the proposed resolution, a map of the district, an overview of the Steamboat Museum, as well as a letter of support from Economic Development Corporation. If you have any specific questions about the district or the project, Mr. Kelly, I think, is here, and I know Mr. Eskees is here, and they'll be glad to answer them for you, or I can help answer anything you might have.
Offer that motion. Second.
Councilman, before we do our motions and so forth, I do have three speakers on this. Mr. Mike Eads is first.
Mr. Chairman, could we hear first about what this whole thing is about, Mr. Kelly?
We can. Let's get our speakers out, please, and we'll bring Mr. Kelly up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief, and I don't want to repeat what the previous speakers said. I come to you with the authority of the ADC board to encourage you to pursue this resolution. I think you've got through your actions you take as a council, you get involved in a lot of routine activities. This is a truly unique opportunity I think you have before you here. I was thinking back on what I was going to say. I was thinking about Sunday and the Super Bowl and all those commercials and everything that people were running, and they were what they're trying to do is develop market differentiation. And that's the issue before you right now is an opportunity to achieve that for the parish. Got the jobs, the tax revenue, and all that, but very important to us. And I just urge council to approve the resolution and the things that follow it to make it happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, I got Ms. Ann Schoenfeld, please.
My daughter is a student at Center Stage, and that's how we found out about this. I believe this is a wonderful, wonderful project for the parish, and just as a citizen, I encourage you to pass this. I think it'll be a great way for us to have things to bring our friends and family to go see within our parish when we have friends from out of town, and it's just a wonderful draw. Thank you very much.
Let's see, next I have Ms. Glenda Shaheen, our past chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, please.
Good afternoon. I have a letter that I would like to read from the Ascension Chamber of Commerce, please. Honorable President Martinez, Honorable Councilman Bell, and Parish Council members. This letter is written in support of a proposal to create an Ascension Parish Cultural District in the Burnside Darrow area.
It is our understanding that this development district will enhance our parish's visibility and will have a tremendous economic reach. This district will strengthen community and business partnerships, promote our local culture, and overall produce a positive effect on our parish. This mission of the Ascension Chamber of Commerce is to facilitate, foster, and economic growth. We believe that the creation of this district would further our mission as such, and we are in support of this proposal, and I have a letter here for that support that I'd like to make part of the minutes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Shakespeare, you had something?
Yeah, I'd just like Mr. Kelly to come up
Okay.
and give
Mr. Kelly, please.
an overview.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to explain my new project. And thank you for considering making this a cultural district. Back last March, I had some representatives from the Department of Tourism for the state come to me with the idea of creating the National Steamboat Museum of the Southern Mississippi. There's currently a museum in Iowa, I believe it's in Duluth, Iowa, that represents, or it's the Museum of the Northern Mississippi. And, you know, we think of it all as one big river, but if you go in the northern half of our country, the northern Mississippi is just completely different than the south. It was different vessels that were there, was different cargo and everything like that. So the idea was to create this national museum, and they had been looking for a location. I guess the different things I've brought to Homeless House had caused the State Department of Tourism to think that Homeless House was the perfect place for it. So they actually applied for a federal grant from the Scenic Byways Commission to build this museum on the Batcher side of the river, and it's to show off the music, the commerce, and the folklore of the river. There will be a half of a steamboat, the front half of a steamboat built on the Batcher, and that would be a hands-on duplicate of a typical old-time steamboat from the 1850s. It would have two large smokestacks, 85-foot tall, calliope, pilot house, captain's quarters, steam engines, and these would be more of it would, like I said, would resemble a steamboat where children and adults could crawl through, touch, see, and see the full operation. The calliope, of course, would be playing. Adjacent to it is a 200-foot wide by 75-foot deep wharf area. The wharf area is designed so that people can sit and relax on this pier and watch the ships go by. You'd be surprised how many do pass by in this area every hour. There's constant movement there. And it's the whole idea of this byway is to bring the general public to the river to be able to see it. Currently the levees throughout the whole river block view and block access to the river. Additionally, there's the actual museum where the exhibits would be. I've been collecting steamboat paraphernalia now for about 15 years, and we've got a great collection of the artifacts from the great riverboats, including the J.M. White captain's chair and other items from it, as well as art collections to show. But what the whole facility is going to do is give the story of the Southern Mississippi. The museum portion of it is 7,000 square feet. And when you arrive at the property, there'd be an additional parking lot that is away from the current parking lot, if you know where that is. It's over closer to the concrete plant. And you would park there, and then you'd walk through the gardens to come to the parking lot where it currently is. And from that point, you'd take either a stairway or an elevator to about 22 feet up, where there would be a bridge that you would walk across the river. In that enclosed air-conditioned bridge would be the Persac map of the lower Mississippi, showing it in detail. It would be about 12 foot wide by 80 foot long. And as you would walk on the Persac map as you were going through, as it's embedded in the floor, you'd be able to see each of the plantation pieces of land, showing how many acres it was, and all the details are on that map. There would be the music going through. That would be banjo-style, steamboat-style music along the way. Once you crossed over and got to the levee itself, you would walk on the levee, and you would enter the new project, the entire steamboat overlooking two different areas. One would be directly into the museum, where the artifacts would be. The other one would be into the half of a steamboat. In between that system, that's basically a large U-shape, would be an amphitheater on the river. And on the wharf area, there would be a stage that would come out when performances would go on, where the performers would be actually on the dock, and the guests would be all along the levee system. It will hold about 240 people in the amphitheater. Additionally, I was the high bidder on a historic steamboat. It's an 88-room floating hotel. It has a theater, it has a restaurant, and it's going to be moved to this facility where you would actually be able to tour a 1925 historic steamboat and experience everything with it. The propulsion system on it doesn't work any longer and is no longer able to go on the rivers. But it would be there, and it would service as overnight stays for up to 88 rooms or 198 people. It's something I've been working on trying to provide for 6 years now, and it's been very difficult to pull it off. But it looks like now, with this federal grant, as well as my investment in the property, and with the cultural district, the tax incentives that are allowed, because it is in a cultural district, you get a 25% state tax credit for having live theater and live music at a facility, if you're in a cultural district. So that's the reason we're coming to you today. It may seem odd that we've been so quiet about this for so long, because I've been working on it almost a year now, but we didn't know if we were going to get the grant. I didn't know if I was going to win the bid on the steamboat. And 2 weeks ago, it was announced that I did gain control of the steamboat, that it would be able to bring it here. So that's what's kind of brought it all. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. Don't want to take too much time.
Any questions, Councilman? Councilman Kluwer.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a great deal. What do you anticipate the seasonal openings of this? 12 months? Out of the year?
Opening, it depends on the river height. The award was supposed to have been announced, of the federal grant, was supposed to have been announced October 25th. Because of all the things going on in Washington today, it has been delayed and delayed. However, the appropriations for this were done in 2009. So the monies are there. It's Secretary Hood of the Department of Transportation who has to make the announcement. We understand it's going to probably be February 25th when the announcement will be made. There was a judging of the grants. And immediately when our grant went in, the response was, this is exactly what we've been asking for grants. Most of the time people put stairways and a little deck up on the river. And though it would have been nice to put something like that there, it really doesn't connect you. And this is the first time. Basically, we're in a unique position right now because most of the organizations who file for these grants or ask for the grants are government agencies. Because of the economic crisis right now, no one's got matching funds, because you do have to put up 20% matching funds. And the number of entries were very minimal. Previously, the average grant was $500,000. This one's a $5.3 million grant, and I'll be matching 25% of that amount to go with it. Usually, since there are very few, or usually there are many grants that are applied for, and they disperse the money amongst everyone as best as they can. Since there were so few grants that were applied for, they were able to allocate such a large grant to one location. And that's what's allowing it to become a major attraction, because of the complex that will be built there. And everything except for the bridge across River Road will be on the water side of the left. So it's a long answer. I don't know if I got it, but the question was when. It's all built on the river, and it depends on when the water is low enough to put the pilings in to build the structure. We expect the river to be very high this year, and more than likely construction won't be able to be started until probably August. And that should be a 9-month construction project.
But your structure will be above the high mark, to where it'll be accessible 12 months out the year after it's built. That's what I'm talking about.
The entire facility is built above the levee. Basically, the bottom of it is to the top of the levee.
Right.
The amphitheater area is down into the levee. So the amphitheater area could flood in those periods of times when the water is really high, but that wouldn't be very often or very long in a period of time.
Thank you, sir.
Councilman Joseph?
Sir, I commend you on this project. This is exciting to have this come to Ascension Parish. My question is cultural district. I mean, you're requesting one. My question is, how many cultural districts that we can have in a parish?
There are none in the parish, in Ascension Parish. I forget the number in New Orleans. I believe New Orleans has 32 different cultural districts. Cultural districts are fairly new. I think the laws on this began 5 or 6 years ago. There are no limits to how many you can have in a parish. It's basically to support the arts, and that's all it is.
Councilman Lower?
Mr. Kelly, I just want to thank you for pursuing this and getting this to us. I think it's truly an incredible vision that you have, and I think it would honestly be one of the coolest and unique attractions in the parish if this comes to fruition. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Cloyd?
Yeah, real quick on the cultural district is basically what we're gonna be doing is rezoning that thing, and it'll have we don't rezone. I'm just saying that piece of land has some restrictions based on being a cultural district.
Yeah, this is not a zoning issue at all.
Okay.
This just allows
Make
the
sure.
tax benefits to take place. There's no zoning
Good deal.
changes whatsoever.
Thank you.
Councilman Thompson?
Yes, I'd just like to commend you, Mr. Kelly, on all the hard work you've done out at the homeless house and the projects that you've continued bringing to the Darrow area, and I just want to commend you on it. Thank you.
Councilman Schick-Snyder?
Kevin, real quick, explain that they do have a theater and they're gonna be, what's your plans for entertainment and the arts and stuff like that?
The theater on the steamboat will seat 175 people. And the plan is to have the center stage, if the center stage would like to, is to handle all the entertainment on the theater. We expect nightly theater to be there, and it's basically whatever they can provide to do. I am not a producer, a director. I enjoy going to the theater, but I surely can't sing and dance. So it's going to be their facility to operate, and I will promote it as much as I can to get people to attend their performances. They will have free rent to operate there. I have a similar relationship with the River Region Art Association, where I've provided space free of charge for them to operate, and it just attracts people. And what I'm trying to build, no one really knows what an arts colony is, but it's a village of sorts where you attract all the different arts of all kinds and have these very interesting, intellectual, and artistic people come together. And I think that's the reason people come to Homeless House, maybe more so than other plantations, because of what we are creating there. About the only other major arts colony I know of that's being built right now is by Alice Walton, the owner of Walmart. She's putting $1 billion arts colony together in Bentonville, Arkansas, bringing all the different types of arts together like we are. I wish I had $1 billion to put into it, because I surely, if I had it, I would invest it there, because I just think it's a wonderful concept. And I enjoy every moment that I spend at Homeless House, and as y'all know, I'm there all the time.
Okay. President Martinez, please.
I just want to thank Mr. Kelly. We've seen this project over the year kind of develop. We've put a lot of effort in it with him and going to continue to do so as a parish. I would tell you, anything, enterprise zones, cultural districts, any kind of tax credits that we can get for the project, it's going to come back tenfold to Ascension Parish. Mr. Kelly is not only talking about something, he's putting up his own money. He's putting up quite a bit of his own money. Once you see, it's kind of staggering, and we should, as elected officials, be thankful for someone like that in the parish that's willing to give back, and also he's also gives a lot to the community over the years. It's not just about making money with him; it's about giving back. So, Mr. Kelly, I commend you, and I'm proud and supportive of your project.
Okay, so thank you. Councilman, any more comments? I need a motion for the resolution, please. Got a motion by Councilman Adrian Thompson, a second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Any discussion? Any objection? Resolution passes. Item 11, to request approval to submit application for the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Program, FY 2011 Competitive Grant Program, and to authorize Parish President Tommy Martinez to sign and execute all documents pertaining to this application and/or Ms. Gwen LeBlanc, CFO, for financial documents.
Motion, Mr. Chair.
A motion by, got a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. We'll move into, Ms. Tony, into our introduction of ordinances. I do have some speakers, on each, item. Item 12, is it, help me with this, Mateo Avocado? Am I doing that right, sir? Okay, sir. Mr. Avocado, all right, sir.
Gentlemen, I came here to speak on these items. I watched some of this on television on the subcommittee meeting. It's not that I'm speaking against these ordinances. I think you're jumping the gun. This belongs with the Planning and Zoning Commission. It's their job to review, adopt, and then send it forward to the council. This is just another, and like I said, what I saw on television, I find myself in agreement or partial agreement with a lot of what's in here. So it's not that I'm against this. What I'm saying is you're jumping the gun. You're cutting out the feed out from underneath your committee that you have appointed. This is their job. Let them do their work. Send this to them. Let them study it. Let them review it, and send their recommendations back to you. That's what's supposed to happen. This is the administration's attempt to subvert the council, the committee on that. Just one more way. They're not supporting anything because they lost this master plan. The committee meetings, can't get the cameras in there. You can't have the building. You gotta be there during the day where we wanna meet at night. It's just a blatant attempt to subvert the whole system. The committee is there, they're duly appointed, they have a job description. That's their job. And you men ought to allow them to do their job. Send this to the committee. Do not vote on this. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's not your job to vote on it while the committee is working on some of these items already. It is not your job to do it first. Because why do you need the committee? To dissolve the committee. If you're going to do this, you might as well dissolve the committee. And that's what you're trying to do by doing this. The staff does not support the committee. The staff is there working for the administration. This should have been sent from the staff to the committee and says, hey, we got some ideas here to revise these ordinances. No problem. Let the committee do their work. That's my opinion. I hope you do what's right.
Next, I have Brest Duplessis, please.
He pretty much said everything I wanted to say, but I'm pretty much against PUD because I've not seen a successful one yet in the fire. So the main reason I'm here is because I'm against them. I don't see where they're good for our rural parish. So that's all I have.
Ms. Charlotte Johnson, please.
Thank you, Council. Good evening. Well, I am opposed to it. This amendment exposes the largest loophole in the PUD ordinance, and you knew about it all along. And you have increased the density through PUD and brought back zero lot lines, which were rejected by the residents. The abuse and misuse of the ordinances have created a development headache for Ascension Parish which won't go away. This Band-Aid of an amendment will not fix what is broken in the PUD ordinance. Citizens were overwhelmingly against high density during public hearings and voiced their opposition over and over again to the proposed master plan and the current PUD ordinance and overlay in District 2 that promote high density. As chairman of the Strategic Planning Committee of the Council, Mr. Shake Snyder, as my councilman of District 2, personally worked to put the PUD ordinance in place. You are not fooling the citizens of Ascension. We can see that some of this council and in the administration and staff don't want the PUD to go away. You aren't listening. We don't want this Band-Aid approach. Send these ordinances to the Planning and Zoning Commission for their review and their recommendation before introducing them. The people want the PUD ordinance removed from the code, not amended and not revised. Thank you.
Ms. Tony?
This is an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 6, PUD, Section 17-6071.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. You need to step to the microphone, we can't hear you.
This is to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 6, PUD, Section 17-6071, and it's basically just adding minimum requirements for residential density.
Hey, Councilman, I'll need a motion, please.
Move to send this on.
Introduce. Got a motion to introduce by Councilman Kent Shake Snyder. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any objection?
I object.
Okay, roll call, please. Ms. Simmons?
No discussion. Okay. Four.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I'm voting on something, I ain't had a chance to ask them questions at least. Legal, just legal, I mean.
Again, y'all have the right, y'all are the governing authority to do this. You can always accept any recommendations you want from the planning and zoning, board, commission, but you are the ultimate decision maker in this case. They can come back and recommend to y'all to do away with everything y'all just passed, but if y'all want to, you can, if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
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 No. Okay, Councilman, ordinance is introduced. We'll move to item 13. I have the same speakers, please. Mr. Avocado, please. Okay, sir, I read it wrong. I had you 12 through 16. Okay. I got you, I understand. Ms. Charlo? Yes, excuse me, ma'am, before you start. President Martinez?
Please.
You know what?
What's that, sir?
You want to speak?
Okay, sir, all right. All right, didn't see you. Ms. Charlo?
The 5 amendments to the PUD ordinance on your agenda tonight from the Strategic Planning Committee they're not from the Planning and Zoning Commission. And my councilman has recused himself from voting on the last 3 PUDs, Orange Grove, Keystone, Mossy Oak, and he's working with the engineering firm and developing these Keystone and Mossy Oaks. And the fact is, the situation showed that had the councilman from District 2 voted, he would be in violation of the ethics law. You know, developer, councilman, conditioner, which is it? The act of introducing these amendments tonight clearly show that any on this council who vote for the introduction of these amendments are not listening to the citizens. Send these ordinances to the Planning and Zoning Commission for their review and their recommendations before introducing them. The people want the PUD ordinances removed from the code, not amended and not revised.
Bristol Plessis, please. Okay, Briss, I'm sorry. I had y'all all listed 12 through 16, so. Okay, Ms. Tony, please. President Martinez, would you like to make a statement?
Yes, I want to.
Chairman. Yes, sir. I need to call for an order. Tommy, one, this is introductions. Council really can't discuss it. The parish president can discuss when we discuss, but this is not a discussion item. I respectfully, yield to you, Chairman, to make a ruling.
Right, sir.
If you wanted to talk, that's fine.
Go ahead, President.
Well, I just wanted to make some comments about some statements that were said and about Mr. Avocado, and basically stating that the administration brought these ordinances to the Strategic Planning Commission. That's not correct. These gentlemen are elected. Planning Commission is appointed. They make the ordinances. They make the laws. Planning Commission doesn't do that. They have the opportunity to do so. Administration, I don't think, advised the Strategic Planning Committee or chairman to put these ordinances on the books. I just want to make that statement because it's continually being stated that the administration is doing this, the administration is doing that. We don't make the laws as administration. We work for you. If you ask us to do things, we'll do it. But again, the final outcome is with you, and I have no other comments.
Okay. Ms. Tony? Item 13, please.
This is to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 2, Zoning Code, Section 17-2073, and it's changing Step 2 and adding a Step 3.
Okay, I'll need a motion, Councilman, please. Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Second by Councilman Chris Lower. Any objection? Roll call, please. Four.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. No.
No. Okay. Item 13 has been introduced. Item 14, Ms. Talla, please.
Mr. President, thank you for pointing out the fact that the President and the Council do work for the citizens of Ascension. The Planning and Zoning Commission was not consulted prior to the writing of these 5 amendments, these ordinances, and these recommendations are coming from the Council. Items 12 through 16 on this agenda should come from the Planning and Zoning Commission, not Strategic Planning. You are circumventing your own processes. Let the Planning and Zoning Commission do their work, and you have the final say. The Zoning Subcommittee met on January 26th and is making a recommendation to the Commission to repeal and abolish the PUD ordinance. Abolishing the ordinance is supported by the people, but these ordinances are to amend, and we don't want that. The Planning and Zoning Commission is meeting tonight, as they always do on the second Wednesday of the month, and has this item on their agenda for consideration. Rescheduling your meeting on the same night as the commissions appear to be more than a convenience for you. Looks funny, smells funny. Send these ordinances to the Planning and Zoning Commission for their review and recommendation before introducing them. If you introduce them, you send the message that you will not represent the majority of citizens, and the opinion of the public means nothing to you. The people want the PUD ordinance removed from the code, not amended or revised.
Ms. Tony, item 14, please.
This is to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 6, PUD, Section 17-6072, and it's for small plan unit development table and residential density. It adds special minimum requirements.
I'll need a motion, Councilman. Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Chris Lower. Any objection?
I object.
Cinnamon, Ms. Cinnamon?
Four.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No. What was the tally, Ms. Cinnamon? 4 nays and, okay. All right. Item 14 has been introduced. 15, Ms. Charlotte?
Okay, are you listening yet? The citizens have overwhelmingly communicated that they do not want the PUD ordinances to remain, and by introducing these amendments, you blatantly disregard the wishes of the citizens, and this is clear. You should be well aware that the public does not want the PUD development and has asked that you abolish this ordinance. Amending the ordinance cannot fix the problem it has caused and will continue to cause. Recent discussions related to Keystone and Mossy Oak should have made this clear to you. If you want more of the same, then again, continue to introduce these amendments. Introducing these amendments rather than abolishing the entire PUD ordinance is another slap in the face for the citizens. The act of introducing these amendments tonight clearly shows that any on this council who vote for the introduction of these amendments is not listening to the citizens. Send these ordinances to the Planning and Zoning Commission for their review and recommendation. Again, before introducing them, the people want the PUD ordinance removed from the code, not amended and not revised.
Item 15, Ms. Tony?
This is to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 6, Plan Unit Development Code, Section 17-6010, and basically it's deleting B and moving up C and D.
Okay. Need a motion, Councilman?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any objection? Ms. Cinnamon?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes. No.
No. Okay, Councilman, item 15 has been introduced. Ms. Charlotte? Item 16, please.
If you introduce these amendments tonight, you will force the public to come and, for lack of better words, again, fight. If this is what you want, then introduce these amendments. You know, the citizens of Ascension, we are awake, we're alive, our eyes are open, and we have perseverance and endurance. And our voices are being heard. You know, I'm really amazed at the demographics out there. I didn't know how many people in my workplace actually live in Ascension Parish, but I do now because I was surprised that they watch APTV. And the age group is like 25 to 35. They're not all the people staying home during the day with nothing better to do. So, you know, the message is getting out there. Stop using your subcommittees to circumvent the process you have established through the Planning and Zoning Commission. Someone needs to hold members of this council who are acting out of their jurisdiction authority accountable, not reward them for their questionable behavior. The solution is to send these ordinances to the Planning and Zoning Commission for their review and their recommendation before introducing them. The people want the PUD ordinances removed from the code, not amended and not revised. Who are you going to represent? The developers, the people, or yourself? You choose now, you know, because we'll choose in October.
Well, Ms. Tony, item 16, please.
This is to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 6, Plan Unit Development Code, Section 17-607, Concept Plan, and it's 607C, and it's the development agreement that's being added.
Need a motion, Councilman?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any objection? Ms. Cinnamon?
Four.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No.
No. Okay, Councilman, item 16 has been introduced. We'll next move into our public hearing ordinance section. Legal counsel Tony Coltman, please. Item 17.
The purpose is to revoke the 12-foot utility servitude along the north side of the 40-feet servitude of passage, Carter Williams Lane, on lots 2A1A, 2B1-CC, 2B1-BB, and 2B1-AA of the Danny Williams property as shown on the plat of said subdivision. Be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Council as the governing authority for the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, in lawful session, hereby revokes the 12-foot utility servitude along the north side of the 40-feet servitude of passage, Carter Williams Lane, on lots 2A1A, 2B1-CC, 2B1-BB, 2B1-AA of the Danny Williams property as shown on the plat of said subdivision. All other public servitudes affecting said property are hereby reserved.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert to open public hearing, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward and sign in. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Motion to close.
Motion to close by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Need a motion to approve the order, please. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion?
I got, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Since we're on this, had a few calls about the, planning and zoning on TV tonight. Ms. Lindsay, can you tell me, is that mandatory we put them on TV?
Ms. Lindsay.
Tony? Whatever.
As of right now, in 2006, an ordinance was passed that, if I'm not mistaken, it's not mandatory that you put it on. I'm not mistaken, it was passed in July of 2006.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering about that, and, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say that we moved that meeting last week. It was because of the weather, not because they were having a meeting tonight.
Yes, sir, I understand. Any more discussion?
We could control everything, but we couldn't control it, no.
Any more discussion, Councilman? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Ms. Tony? Item 20.
This is an ordinance to amend the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2010 operating and capital budgets for the Parish of Ascension adopted by the Ascension Parish Council on the 19th day of November 2009. Section 1, the Ascension Parish Council hereby ordains that the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2010 operating and capital budgets for the Parish of Ascension is hereby amended, approved, and appropriated as follows. Operating budget. Lighting District Number 4 expenditures. Increase because of actual expenses were higher than budgeted, $4,500. Country Ridge Sewer Construction. Expenditures, professional service, increased $4,000. HUD Section 8 revenues. U.S. Treasury HUD, $36,500. U.S. HUD Disaster, FEMA, Ike Gustav increase, $44,200. Expenditures, administration, increase, $10,000. Housing assistance, $26,500. Administration, disaster, Ike Gustav, $35,700. Housing assistance, disaster, Ike Gustav, $8,500. Council on Aging expenditures, appropriations and grants, $79,500.
Need a motion to open public hearing, please? A motion by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Motion to close public hearing by Councilman Randy Cluart. Second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Your motion to move the ordinance, please. Councilman Randy Cluart makes the motion. Second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? All right, Councilman Lambert, please.
The Country Ridge sewer construction, why we had to increase, do we have anything on that, Past President? Thank you. Yes, final payment.
After the budget process is complete.
That's all right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any more discussion, Councilman? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Before we get to, Councilman Todd Lambert, my usual thanks to, Mr. Lester Kenyon, Ms. Clint Falcon for putting us on the air, making us go. John Conley is in the back, Deputy Donald Capello in the back of the room. We appreciate you, sir. Sinman and, Myra, we thank you for helping us get the agenda together. Ms. Tony Colterman, thank you. And I'd really like to just at this time thank all our parish employees for making us what we are in this parish. We appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Yeah, we'd like to congratulate Howard Green from Donaldsonville, Louisiana on the Green Bay Packers Super Bowl champs. Quite a feat. Yes, sir.
Don't forget Aaron Lee.
Aaron, we appreciate you. Birthday is tonight, Miss Sherry Kenton, February 13th. Happy birthday. Councilman Lambert. Councilman Todd Lambert makes a motion to adjourn. Second by Councilman Chris Lord.